I was speaking today with someone and we had this conversation around energy. But it wasn't only about energy that we're talking about. It had to do with our vision, with our purpose, with the thing that they wanted to do in their life. And the thing that came up was, well, the more energy that we have, the more we feel strong, the more we can actually go ahead and create what we need to create. Because when we are lacking energy, of course, it's very difficult for us to create what we want because we don't have the strength, we don't have that power that we need in order for us to be able to create what we want. A lot of times, especially now, I'm thinking of the season. I'm thinking of New Year's resolutions. We go about in the next probably couple of weeks, and we go and we waste our energy here and there. Yes, there's parts that we take energy, so perhaps we sleep a little bit more. We connect with people, and that can be energizing. At the same time, for some, this can be draining. And also the way that we manage our body, we overeat, we drink a little bit more for most of us. So we end up reaching January, and instead of feeling refreshed and re-energized and full of our strength and power and being embodied in that, we've been sitting down more, we feel more tired, we feel more exhausted. And then from that exhaustion, we try to create the thing that we want. We try to create the life that we want. We make a decision, but this decision is being made on some weak foundations. On those weak foundations, we try to build this skyscraper, and of course it becomes very difficult because we're low on energy. And then the more that we try to do that, we start expending the energy. Now what happens is, many times when we expend energy, we lose it. At least that's our perception. And this can be true. It becomes true when we're leaky. So when we're being distracted on YouTube, on different things, we just keep being distracted. We leak that energy, we lose that energy. It makes us feel weaker. So at first, it might be like sweet. It tastes really good. But then when we eat it, when we ingest it, we realize its effect. So inside, our tummy starts to turn all funny. And this is like a metaphor, but this is what we do. Inside of us, we leak that energy, we lose that power, we lose our essence. And then we try to do this great thing. Of course, that becomes very, very difficult because we've lost a lot of our energy. Now, there are other things. For example, exercising works really well for me. But I've been speaking to this friend who is a PT, and he was talking about if you over-exercise, you overexert yourself, of course, then it makes sense. Like you start to lose energy. So there's also this essence, this sense of balance, balancing things out. Because if we overexert ourselves, sitting down too much or doing too much exercise, then we're not really in that sweet spot. So for example, when we exercise for the right amount of time that suits with our body and our energy and the days, because it depends. Some days we can push more, some days we can push less. It's about building that capacity. But when we can do that, although we've expended energy, that energy amplifies. It feeds back into us and it gives back, and it can take us to the next level. When we're talking about distraction and leaking our energy, though, on that sense, that is just dragging us down. That energy kind of dissipates. I love the word leaks because it just like goes in different directions. And of course, when that happens, we don't have that ability to focus our energy and direct it and send it to where we need to send it to. Now, do we all have habits and distractions and addictions? I feel that we do. But how do we learn to manage that? How do we learn to understand the impact of the things that we do, of the choices and decisions that we make that impact our energy levels? And for what purpose? For the purpose of us being able to reclaim a part of ourselves, to be able to reclaim that thing that attracts our attention, that makes us go. And it's actually about reclaiming that power, that mastery in ourselves. And then from that reclaimed energy, to be able to take that and use that and harness that and direct it. So if you had this extra energy that you're looking for, what would you use it for? What would you be willing to create? Where would you like to guide it instead? That's one side of the coin. The other side is like, when I do those things, where does my energy go? How does that impact my life? How does that impact my self-esteem? How does it impact my ability to operate in the world? These are very important questions, and you can go over them again and see them and listen to them again, but it's just like, there's something happening within me. My energy is going in different places. The result of that is that I feel weakened. I feel more powerless. What I rather feel is being more powerful. And then it's gaining that mastery over those things that they've been dragging you around. Reclaiming that mastery, reclaiming your energy, your power, standing within your power, which you have, and then from that place, directing that to create the thing that you want, that goal, that resolving that problem that you've had in your life. And sometimes those distractions can be part of the problem, but they're not the actual problem. The distraction itself is a distraction from the actual problem. But when we reclaim that power, when we can harness that energy, it's about harnessing power and directing it. And it's something that you can do, which is within your own right, when you learn to stand within your power to create the things that you want. And it can be relationship, it can be material wealth, it can be projects, it can be all sorts of things. It can be your personal health. It doesn't matter. It can be your spirituality. It can be about your path. It can be about your personal self-development. All these things are different, but at the end of the day, we're more capable to create those things when we're on a high energy level. And that doesn't mean being all crazy. It just means having that surplus of energy that a lot of us are lacking in day to day. So what I want you to take from this video is like, what are the areas of your life that you can reclaim your energy? What are the parts of you that you can do in order for you, to be more full, to be more complete? And this sense of completion is a sense of healing. Enjoy.